Much for coming out today and to really raising your voices up loud and clear about, against this horrific crime and more generally against the horrific crimes against women that go on all the time. We send out from Richmond our deepest support for the young woman who experienced this horrible crime, and we send it out to her family, and we know that this crime is something that we have to talk and speak out against on a daily basis. We also needed to be clear that this is not about Richmond. This is not about Richmond youth. This is about a much greater systemic problem, as you all know. Violence against women occurs every 9 seconds in the U.S. A sexual violation against women occurs. So that is really a horrible statement on where our nation is at, and we know it goes beyond our nation globally. We have not overcome the inequities in our society that allows this kind of thing to go on. So Richmond youth have been organizing at Richmond High, have had vigils and a wonderful press rally and a program expressing themselves through their poetry and their music. They're very clear that they want to make it known to the press, to the media, to everyone. That is not what Richmond is all about. Richmond youth are about good, positive things. They're speaking their truth. They're speaking their truth not only about the horrors of this crime, but about the horrors of all the injustices, sexism, racism, poverty that we see throughout our nation and that we want to turn around. So we want, a lot of disparaging light has been cast on Richmond because of this, and so we want it, while we continue to raise this issue very loud and clear that it cannot happen again, we wanted to make it clear that Richmond is not Richmond. The Richmond that we all know and love, the 99.999% of Richmond, is about healthy relationships. It's about healthy and active living, and so I'm so glad to have you all coming here to really step up your voices against this crime and to share with us in Richmond this healing experience. And one thing, I've been putting out some messages, some newsletter and various articles and paper in the local newspapers about this. And, I've said that we as adults have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to encourage our young people to speak out against justices, to speak injustices, to speak truth to power. We need to encourage them to do this all the time. And when this occurs, they will not be as likely to stand passive in the face of an atrocious, acute situation. But unfortunately, we see sometimes, we see the representation of our youth and of women in advertising and commercial interests, showing us as women as passive and as dehumanized, and our youth pick up on that. And if we don't counter that by saying, hey, you have to speak up against the representation of women in the media, you have to speak up against the representation of racial injustice, you have to speak up against the economic inequities, the growing poverty. We have to let them know and support them in that and make space for their leadership. So we're doing that in Richmond, and our youth are just, at the brightest and empathetic as you'll find anywhere. And so I'm here to say, let's keep the pressure on this turning around these injustices, this sexism, this hostility against women, this violence against women, and let's raise up those young people and those of us as adults who are standing up to these injustices. And I thank you for all being here today.